But I'm sorry I had to harp on that whole like sort of private key thing, but it's a very, very important sort of thing that you get custody of your tokens, and I would do it as fast as you freaking can. I think it is the ultimate power. It like when you have custody of if everybody had custody of their tokens, man, holy shit, man, we would be more powerful. One of the reasons why we can pump so much comparative, and we'll get, and this has a lot to do with the hex. The reason I'm going so deep into this because it's one of the most vital things that we teach in the crypto mindset courses inside the Citadel, all across all our products, as well as something that we highly picked up from the hex ecosystem is just having control of your assets, right? If everybody had their own BTC, nobody left money in exchanges, nobody left money anywhere else, everyone had it under their control, there will be less shenanigans. And to tell you the truth, as much shenanigans has happened here in crypto, the thing is like they get washed out, it's done, it's over, and then we continue on, right? Where in the traditional market, you have a lot of things that are just swept under the rug, or they print money in order to fix and keep it going and stuff, where it would have just collapsed a long time ago. Um, one of the reasons I truly believe why equities don't pump as much as crypto is because there's a third party that ends up controlling your stock. And this is kind of a really fucked up sort of thing where like you on something like let's use Robinhood as an example. And hit the like button, you guys. You guys are getting some fucking out. You guys are getting fucking like red pills right here, man. Red pill of finance, man. Um, this is a really messed up sort of thing with equities and stuff like that. Is that when you own an equity, you really don't truly own it. A third party entity that holds the stock for you owns it, and then they lend out your stock for people wanting to borrow and borrow it, short it, or long it, basically. And you don't get any of those returns. So this is the kind of crazy thing where imagine if in a world where everybody owned their stock, their promissory notes or the actual note of the stock in their possession inside of a wallet, which I think we might head. It could go either way, but it looks like we might be heading towards that world one day where we control like one token equals one stock. I mean, you would pretty much double or triple the amount of gains in the equities market, like damn near overnight, just because you would take the ability for people to long or short as much. So what happened is you would create a secondary market, and you would create a tremendous amount of extra yield. So then from there, people would then deposit their tokens. Here we go into some problems again, right? But then they would deposit their stock tokens or their crypto tokens into these second platforms, and they were created a whole another type of yield for it. So it's kind of this beautiful thing where you can possibly earn dividends and you can earn yield from people longing or staking these tokens and stuff like that. And because of all the limited supply of staking these tokens away for borrowing and lending pools, you would basically significantly increase the amount of yield you're earning, as well as lessen the float available to buy and sell in the open market outside of the borrowing and lending pools and stuff for shorting and longing. That's the kind of like it's a crazy amount of wealth, and that wealth is stolen by these larger corporations who then it's pretty insane, you guys. Like if you guys end up looking at that and stuff. So just having the ability of having stuff that's ultimate custody on most cryptos around the world are slightly inflationary to deflationary over time, right? And that deflationary ability plus the ability to stake tokens away ends up giving these tokens the ability to just gain massive amounts of percentage gains, as well as the systems are still not that gigantic right now that the price of the tokens can really shoot up and stuff like that. That's why we've been able to see BTC go from like basically nothing, fraction, like a penny basically, to current prices of like $21,000, $22,000 per token. Um, yeah, definitely don't stake. Yeah, don't do any of those pools, right? But the thing is, the thing. This is the problem. This is the main problem why bad things happen inside of crypto, is because they try to take concepts that work. Like because if you look at it, like they want to like if you actually look, like we're in a super babysitter mode because of the fucking boomers. And check out my series. I've got like 2 video series on why boomers are bad, right? Shing. But basically, if you look at the rest of the markets, like if you look at how people typically yield, right, like or try to make money in the real world, right? They're like they get a job, 401k. Ooh, if you match up to 4% of your entire your entire what I pay you a year, I'll match it with an additional 4%. Yeah. And then they have a very limited amount of ETFs they can invest into, and then the money goes in there and they can't touch it for years. So it's like the money is just taken away from them and put into these sort of things that they don't really have much control of, right? Or if they're more little tiny more base and stuff, and they end up taking control, just a full amount of their money, and then putting it into stocks. From there, they're trusting an app. All their stocks are on that app, on either E-Trade or Citadel's homies like fucking Robinhood and stuff like that. You see, it's sort of this whole thing where the complete things in the trust of the third party, or if they have a lot of money and shit, they're calling a broker, and the broker holds that through at the brokerage. At no point are they holding their own stock at all.